All right, we're going to go over practice problem number 3 for Unit 7, Lesson 5. This is a question from the 2013 practice exam. Remember that you do not need to do part C and D because it asks us about the probability of power and interpreting what power means, but we are not tested on that for the AP exam. A drug company currently sells a prescription pain reliever that has shown to be effective at lowering arthritis pain. However, since the drug also causes stomach irritation in some patients, the company has created a new formulation that it hopes will reduce the side effect. To see if the new formulation reduces the occurrence of stomach irritation for users of the pain reliever, the company conducted a small preliminary study to compare the new formulation with the current pain reliever. In the preliminary study of 100 subjects with arthritis, 50 were randomly assigned to take the current pain reliever, and 50 were randomly assigned to take the new formulation. Patients' responses at the end of the study are summarized in the table below. So we're going to say that this one is P1, this one is P2. Part A says, do the data from the preliminary study indicate that at 10% level of significance, that the new formulation helps to reduce the proportion of patients with stomach irritation compared to the other current pain reliever? The conditions for inference have been checked and verified. So, since conditions are already checked and verified, I can skip that. So we're going to start with our parameters. Let P1 represent the proportion of patients with who use the current medication and has stomach pains or stomach irritation. Let P2 represent the proportion of patients using the new drug with stomach irritation. So in this case, we're saying that HO is P1 equals P2, and HA is that P1 is greater than P2 because we want the new medication to reduce the amount of stomach irritation. So what does this mean? So here's our math. P1 is equal to 21 over 50, which is 0.42. And P2 is 17 over 50, which is 0.34. P total is 21 plus 17 over 50 plus 50. So this is 0.38. So I get Z equals P1 minus P2 minus 0 over square root of P total. I'm going to zoom in right here. Times 1 minus P total over N1 plus P total minus times 1 minus P total over N2. If I throw this into the calculator, I get negative I get positive 0.824, which means that my p-value is 0.205. Okay, so we're trying to do practice problem number 3 and using the calculator to get our z and p-value. So again, we're going to go to 2 prop z-test. We had 21 out of 50 patients who used the current pain reliever has stomach irritation, and 17 out of 50 patients using the new formulation had stomach irritation. We're saying that P1 is greater than P2. Calculate, and we get a z-score of 0.824, and our p-value was 0.204 or 0.205. P-total was 0.38, which is what we got, and we can move on to the conclusion now. So what can we conclude? If P1 equals P2, then the probability of our sample difference or more is 0.205. This means that since P is greater than alpha equals 10, we fail to reject HO and do not have evidence that the new medicine reduces stomach irritation. Okay. Part B, based on your conclusion in Part A, which error, type 1 or 2, is possible, and describe the consequence of each error in this context of this study. So in this case, since we failed to reject HO, we could have committed a type 2 error, and it asks us to describe each of them. So type 1 would be, we give people the new medication when it doesn't work. And type 2, we give people old medicine and don't make the new one even though